Good morning.
Hi, Eric. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. We actually, so just to let you know, I went ahead and kind of started the webinar, so it's already recording, and we already have someone with us now.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Well, very good. I'll just hang tight until you are ready. I saw I was promoted to a panelist, so I'm pretty excited about that.
You are a panelist.
I should be able to share this presentation then based on our practice yesterday.
Wonderful. Right. While we're getting loaded here, anyone that is in attendance, feel free to drop in the chat if you can. It should be enabled. Where is your credit union at? Where are you located? Good morning, Dewana. Great to see you. We have Oakwood, Georgia. Eric, that's just right up the road from me. Oh, and we have Nashville. Stephanie, I bet you guys are all getting ready for the leaves to change, probably. Oh, the weather is nice. I'm hoping to go outside and see the grass today instead of being in the office all day. And Eric, where are you at today?
I am just north of Ann Arbor, Michigan. So we're just not ready for fall yet. We still got maybe a month of some warmth and some nice weather, and then it'll start to shift. And really the most beautiful month of the year in Michigan is October because of the color change, and it's
Oh,
usually a good weather month. It's crisp air and things cool off, but we're usually pretty good until the second week. As far as summer, you feel summer until about the second week of September, and then it starts to change. But It's beautiful here. It's been beautiful this week. It's a shock to my system because last week I was in Destin, Florida, where it was 98 and
Oh yeah.
just very warm, and August in Florida, what are you expecting, right? It's going to be
Oh
hot.
yeah. They've had a
We came back here and I am enjoying the beautiful weather. It's cool and 80, 81, 82 degrees. So no complaining. We don't get a lot of these. We get a handful of these a year.
Oh yes, that's really nice. I think most of us here in the South were still in the inferno, but
Yeah.
it's all right. Hurricane Debbie came last week and kind of made some excitement for our South Georgia credit unions. So
Mm.
it has been it's been an exciting 2 weeks for us. Well, Eric, it looks like we are going to be able to start right on time. If you would like to get our presentation ready, I'll go ahead and say
Got it.
my hellos and hand it over to you.
All right. Can you guys see the presentation?
There we go. I can see it.
Okay, well that's always good.
Well, I still want to say good morning, even though we are approaching lunchtime. Good morning. My name is Misty Waldrop. I'm the marketing manager here with Growth by Design, and we are a full service digital marketing agency that's with the league. And probably, I don't know, it feels like it's been a couple years now. We have partnered with One Click Financial, and Eric is going to talk to us today a little bit about how personalization is so important for the credit unions and how impactful it can be for your membership.
Sure.
So, Eric, I'm going to go ahead and hand her over to you.
Yeah, so thank you, Misty, and thanks for joining me this morning to walk through One Click Financial and what we do and kind of how we do it and why it's impactful. The member experience is so critical, as we all know, right? I'm preaching to the choir here, I know. But how do we address member engagement as we start to see more and more people move to the digital channels? Um, we feel like you're missing some of that one-on-one engagement as they move to the digital channels. And so how can we bring that back and how can we adjust to a new world that is now being dominated by companies that are really personalizing the engagement for their customers? So we're going to walk through that a little bit with One Click Financial, and I will share with you some examples of what it looks like and some results that we have seen because they're really quite impactful when you are able to take that personalization and direct it to your members in such a way that they're seeing the timely messaging, the very topical messaging, and the very targeted messaging that you're going to want them to have. So let's see here if I can get this thing to move forward. There we go. So as we know, the majority of U.S. consumers are now using digital banking. 78% of adults prefer to bank via the mobile app or website, and 22% still like to bank in person. However, that's a shrinking demographic as more and more people adopt the digital engagement. So again, going back to my question, how do we make sure that we're able to still personalize our engagement with these folks through a digital channel? The challenge is, Amazon and Meta and Google and others. There's so many that we could talk about. These large companies that are that you're no longer, that they're changing the way that they engage with the consumer. And for us within the financial services industry, we're no longer just competing with other financial institutions. We're competing with Amazon, Meta, and Google to meet that expectation of personalization. They have unlimited budgets, essentially. These are the largest and best capitalized companies, perhaps in the history of the world. So how are we, a credit union industry? How are we, a smaller, personalized financial services industry, supposed to compete with these organizations. And the trick is we have to use partnerships to do so. And we have to leverage our partnerships and our relationships to build strength through the what I consider to be the credit union superpower, which is cooperation. So we leverage that strength. So we want to help you exceed expectations by delivering these timely, topical, and targeted engagements to every one of your members across all of your channels. And probably the most important part about that is when they want it. It's not just do you deliver timely, topical, and targeted messaging? Do you deliver it when they want it? I'll give you an example. Years ago, many, many years ago, Sprint, where I used to work, we were the backbone of the Jeep and Chrysler Uconnect systems, which meant we weren't just the connectivity between the car and the mobile network, we were also the software backbone. And one of the things that we worked on long ago, this is over 15 years ago, was the ability to communicate with a vehicle an important point. So when the gas light came on that said you were low on gas, we would send a message. We could send a message to the car that said, "Hey, Eric, your gas light just came on. You're going to need to get gas. Up the road, a mile and a half, right on the right is a total station. Swing in there and they'll give you 10 cents off a gallon and a free cup of coffee with a fill up." That was a very topical message. It was a very targeted message, but it was also very timely because when that gas light comes on, I need to get gas and I know that I need to get gas and I'm thinking about getting gas. And so it had a very strong impact. If I had just gassed up and I'm getting on the highway and I get a message from a total station that says, "Hey, swing by for a free cup of coffee and 10 cents a gallon off," it doesn't mean anything to me because I don't need it at that time. And so that's what we're trying to do with One Click Financial is not only give you the topical and targeted engagement, but also do it at a time when the member is listening, when the member is interested in what it is that you have to say. So we call it hyper personalization. We do it at scale across your entire membership base. 70% of members expect some sort of personalization from the start. And the stat here that I find very interesting is how, even though only 70% are expecting some sort of personalization, 76% of people that we surveyed get frustrated when they don't receive it. So there's actually people who are expecting personalization, even though they don't say that they're expecting personalization. I think that's a telling statistic. And then we do see organizations across the board increase revenue significantly when they use personalized experiences. And that's what we're working to offer our partners through One Click Financial. So to deliver the right information to the right consumer at the right time. And that's what One Click helps you do. And you can do this and you can utilize One Click in so many different ways, right? All of these types of engagement strategies that you want to have with your members. And this is just a snapshot. There are more that that you can use this for that we haven't even discovered yet that credit unions are using it for. But if you're using a digital onboarding to welcome new users, this can do that. If you're using surveys to get NPS surveys, this can do that. If you're using a retargeting software within your systems, we can help you do that because we integrate so well with loan pre-quals and QNexus and these other solutions that are out there. So all of these and many more are ways that you can leverage personalization to really engage more effectively with your member. So the idea being, your standard campaign to a non-targeted consumer, we've seen these. It's the billboards on the highway offering a great loan rate or a great checking account rate or savings account rate or CD rate, but it's a broad communication to anybody who happens to be driving by. Then you get into more targeted consumer engagement. These are messages for specific individuals. At Michigan State University Credit Union, we are the Michigan State University Credit Union owns the Reseda Group, right? Because Reseda Group is a QSO. And One Click Financial is owned by the Reseda Group. So Michigan State University Credit Union, a college or university-based credit union, they do targeted campaigns to recent college graduates, offering them a celebration of their accomplishment and a way to utilize our services. But where your rubber hits the road, right, is this hyper personalization, this one-on-one engagement with each and every individual member, speaking to them about what's important to them when it's important to them. So when you look, what we do is we have a report that is pulled from your core, and it's really core agnostic. It doesn't matter which core you have. We give you the qualifications that we need, and it all resides in these left two columns here: the user, the product, the loan types, the transactions, and then obviously which branch data they have. We add in third-party data that we bring, behavior surveys, credit information, demographics, and personas. And then we are able to present and create a unique ID that is for each and every user. And with cookies, we're able to identify every time that user comes into your environment and present to them this unique ID with rotating engagement. So again, looking at the engagement, starting the bottom left, we have your data, we have our third-party data. We put that into, we take contents and articles and surveys and other things that we can help you create content. All of that coupled with the information then goes into a matrix of if-then data-driven criterion. It's a rules engine that we build with you. So we've got the foundational rules engine, but then we can take that rules engine and build it with you for your business rules, for your engagement styles, for your engagement resource management, and to help you meet your goals, your individual unique goals as a credit union. That goes into the rules engine, and out pops individual user, individual based user URLs that are unique to that individual. Quick, idea of what it looks like. In one case, we've got Anthony here who has a credit score below 650, so he's not really eligible for some of our great loan deals. And so why are we going to tell Anthony about that? We're just going to ostracize him. We're going to make him frustrated by telling him about a great loan rate that he's not eligible for. So what we're going to do to Anthony is we're going to provide resources and engagement to help him improve his position, to give him resources to help him get out of the credit hole he's in and help make his life better through that engagement. Conversely, Dave is a brand new member, and maybe we've got a rewards program that we want to make sure that Dave is taking advantage of to fully manage and appreciate the value of membership. And so we send a direct, specific, targeted message to Dave as a new member, making sure that we know that he knows about what he's doing, because or what we're doing as far as rewards, because we can see that he hasn't signed up for the rewards program yet. That's just some of what we do. So the idea of what does that personalized web page look like? Let me click on this and I'll show you. This is credit union, Foothills Credit Union, where we are targeting a specific automotive engagement because something has triggered the fact that they are interested in automotive in this case. Could be the fact that they have a loan that's about to come, about to be paid off. Could be something that they looked at within our site and clicked on something that we were able to track what they're looking at. But now we have modified our engagement so that when they come into the Foothill site, they are seeing specific targeted loan information for automotive. We're giving them tools. We're giving them resources that help them make a decision about what type of loan is best for them. What can they afford? What works for them. One thing you'll notice is this is a young family with their car seat child and their dog. And we know, right, that in this case, this is that picture is going to appeal to this family. If it were me, an older guy, right, children, empty nesters, it might just be me, and it might just show a picture of a guy my age. And I know you're all thinking, hey, Eric, you can pass for 28, but I can't really. So they're going to show an older guy with a little bit of gray hair. And that way that person looks and feels like me. They're familiar to me. I understand that individual. We're going to talk to them about their driving habits. These are, again, more resources. We can give them, if they want to go shopping through Foothills, they can go to Autoland and look at, reach out to a consultant and look at a website. If they want to check rates or do a calculation on how much can they really afford, we give them those resources. Are they a first-time home buyer or, excuse me, a first-time auto buyer? We can give them what our incentives are for those folks. The Foothills also offers repair protection, so they make them available to that for that. And then we also talk to them about RVs, moving their entire account over to Foothills. We make it very easy for them. And then what branch are they serviced by if they do need to go in and visit a branch? That's the Foothills site for an automotive engagement. Here we have Tropical Credit Union located down in South Florida in kind of the greater metro Miami area, Fort Lauderdale. And when you take a look at what Foothills is doing, or excuse me, what Tropical is doing, they're speaking to Alicia really about home equity and line of credit for Alicia. We know, again, through our engagement with the core and what we know about Alicia, that she's got some equity in her home, and maybe she could leverage that equity to put herself into a better position to either pay down debt or do things with that house that she might want to do. But we're also offering education for Alicia. What's better for her, a home equity line or a home equity loan? Here's, give her a guide, give her information, give her resources to help her make the best decision for her. That's what we're about in the credit union space. We're not asking her to make the best decision for us. We're helping her make the best decision for her. We give her some calculators to help her understand, what the impact will be if she heads in this direction, ways that she can use home equity to improve her home, to consolidate debt, to pay for major expenses if needed. Are you better off refinancing, or are you better off staying where you are? We can give her those calculators. In Florida, some unique things that folks need to do for a home equity loan. We make sure that that she is prepared for that, and then frequently asked questions. One of the things that we do that is wonderful, and I'll share with you some statistics on this. What you're looking at here, excuse me, is a life event survey. So in this survey, we're asking Leisha not just about the home equity piece, but what are other things that are on the horizon in your world that maybe we can help you with as a credit union? Are you looking for a car? Are you thinking about going back to school? Do you have a baby on the way? Or are you going down to Destin for a vacation? Or are you in a different position and you're thinking about retirement? When this information is offered, this survey is offered to members because it's so timely, because they're in thinking about banking and thinking about what they're doing. We're seeing 65, 66, 67% return rates on these surveys. That is an overwhelming response relative to a standard survey. So we are seeing great responses, and then this information feeds back to you. And again, we make sure that they know where the branches are near them for their own work. Where'd I go here? Sorry. This is Five Star Credit Union, another credit union in the League of Southeastern Credit Unions there in Alabama. And Five Star has a new member engagement. They were very focused on making sure that in this case, Orlando knew all that was available to him as a new member. Has he been happy? Let's do a refer a friend. Let's make sure that Orlando gets into and downloads online banking. And we would not be messaging this in the website to Orlando if he already had online banking or the mobile banking app, because we would know that. And so this message would be something different. This real estate wouldn't be mobile banking app downloads, because we know he already has that. Again, we talked through the important benefits of membership. We asked him about how he's doing on his goals. What's his local branch? Five Star has a robust branch scheduling resource they wanted to make sure is available. So we have that in here. Again, a life event survey. where we're seeing just dramatic engagement, 60-70% of return on these surveys. They offer credit reporting as a benefit of membership, so he can take a look at his report, educate himself, and then, of course, his local branch and what's available to him at his local branch. That is just another way that we can use it. Here, financial partners, we go back to Anthony. If you remember, our partner Anthony struggles with credit a little bit. So let's get Anthony some resources. How we can help him learn good habits. What is it that Anthony needs to help move himself forward? Does he need help with budgeting? Do we need to create a rainy day fund for automatic savings? Does he need help, financial education? Or does he need just really dig out from a credit card debt? And how could we help him do that? How can we help him with money management? How can we help him with the stress that comes from having financial challenges? We know this. We know how stressful it is when somebody's challenged with financial issues. We help them with that. How to utilize and maximize credit card utilization. And of course, always the importance of the credit score. In this case, we offered them a seminar on the importance of the credit score. But that's what we did with financial partners. And again, with this isn't going to be the same message every month. It's going to rotate. So you can rotate your engagement to better feel, to better engage with that member month by month, so they aren't seeing the same message every time they come in. We perform as an extension of your team with very quick turnaround. We can do content and visual support. If you copywriting and editing, if you don't have those resources available at your credit union, we help you with that. And of course, we're available 5 days a week, 12 hours per day, because we're a nationwide organization. The idea of how it flows: you get the information from your file, it comes to us, we do the rules determination based on the rules engine we've built with you. The personalized web page is generated. It is then sent to the member across all of your digital engagement channels. You send it via text, via a newsletter, via email, however you are engaging with your members. Once they click on that, they access their personal web page. We now have a cookie, so every time they come back in, they're sent to their personal web page. They interact with the site. Those interactions are analyzed for behaviors and triggers. We generate leads and show the interactions to you through either integration with your CRM or through retargeting, or through sending information to the appropriate people within your credit union. And then that behavior is monitored, and you are getting daily and monthly reports on that. So what do these reports look like? How can you take this information and really refine and continue to improve your engagement? You start to see you can do it. These reports are available on both a micro and a macro level. So I can do it across the entire membership. I can do it for just those folks who are, housed at a specific branch or visited a branch. I can do it for an individual. These are the satisfaction surveys that we saw. These are the life event surveys that we saw. These are the leads that were generated and the value of those leads. And again, those aren't our numbers. Those are from the credit union themselves. Somewhat of interest to you folks down there, since Misty talked about the hurricane that came across. One of the things that Tropical Credit Union used the system for is, I guess a good thing about hurricanes, if you can say there's something good about them, is you do know generally where they're going and when they're going to arrive. Well, what they did is they put a preemptive message out to those members that were in the direct line of a hurricane that was coming ashore. And in that messaging, they sent out to all of those members in those specific areas. They sent information on emergency management resources in their area. Where were the shelters in their area? Do you need to skip a pay because you're about to get hit by a credit union? Click here. Or get hit by a hurricane? Click here, and your credit union is going to take care of that beforehand. It's always nice to get the message, after the hurricane comes ashore and says, do you need to skip a pay with the challenges that you're dealing with? That's a nice message. It's an even better message when you get it beforehand. And it's just one less thing for me to worry about while I'm dealing with the aftermath of a storm. This is something that Tropical did that we just loved. We would have never thought about that up here in our home base in Michigan. It's not something we would have thought about, but they're using the the platform in a new and unique manner. So we do easily integrate with third party, whether it be your CRMs or your loan origination resources, etc. We do a nice job of integrating across the board. These are some testimonials from when we launched with 5 Star that their frontline people had said, and I'll make sure Misty has this presentation to be able to offer to you folks after the call, so you don't have to worry about. I'm not going to read all these to you, but they were thrilled with what they saw one-click delivering because it allowed them to better serve the members when they do engage with them directly, whether it be through call center or across the teller line. These are some results. This is a 90-day result that we had a case study, and we've also got 30 and 60-day results that, again, I'll make available to Misty that she can share with you guys. These are case studies that show the impact that we had. In this case, this is 90 days after launch. We had increased the number of leads by over 1,300%. That's just an amazing impact over 90 days. We increased the level of engagement by 400%. Unique engagements, emails to customers. And not only did the emails increase, but the number of opened emails increased. So they were opening them at a higher rate because they knew they were getting information that was relevant to them. Increase in unique visitors and components views. So with that impact, they were able to really demonstrate the value of personalization up their management team line, up to their leaders, and say, look, this is really making an impact. Here are the dollars that we're generating from this platform. It allows you to create a very robust ROI that you can then show the impact that you're having on your members and what personalization is doing to help drive revenue and better member engagement. So what we like to say is that we learn more about you and learn more about your members, and you learn more about us and how our platform, and we start out walking, and then we get into a cadence where we're better understanding each other and how to work together. And then finally, right, we are dancing with the stars and really just able to put together a beautifully choreographed engagement. It takes a little while to get there, of course, but that's where we want to get with all of our partners. What we are talking about is really exceeding the expectations with relevant and targeted engagement across every channel. You need to know what your consumer wants. You need to know when they want it. You need to know where they want it delivered. And One-Click Financial allows you to do all of that. Misty is your first point of contact, of course, for engagement, but you're always welcome to call me as well. We are a team, the One-Click team and the Growth by Design team. We work together very closely. As you can see today on the webinar, they host webinars. We talk about the value of this. They're using it within their own marketing engagement. So we are very closely aligned, and I'm happy to jump in and do a demo with you or your teams or anything that you would like to help support what you have learned today. So I do have other case studies. I'm not going to show them to you. I'll make sure they're included in the follow-up email. But I just want to open up to any questions that you might have to see if there's anything in particular you'd like me to drill down on. And thank you for your attention for that presentation.
Thank you so much, Eric. I'm going to go ahead and add my email into the chat as well. Do we have any questions about the product and how impactful it can be for your membership? You know how important personalization is. I think that's kind of the heart of credit unions, is we can really keep our finger on the pulse of what our membership needs.
Yeah, that's really the key, right? Is the ability to we know what our members need. And here we're able to demonstrate to that member what, we know what you need. We're going to deliver it when it's important to you to see it. And we are, we're not falling behind these big personalization organizations. We're matching them and providing to you an engagement that is equal to or greater than what you receive in other places. And that's what we want to make sure within the financial services space that we're delivering. Again, any questions, happy to answer them. Or you can ping us afterwards. Happy to have one-on-one engagement.
Absolutely.
Stephanie's
Well,
like, look, you're between me and lunch, so wrap it up, Eric. What Stephanie's thinking.
well, we have provided our contact information. Of course, our inbox, my phone, everything is always available to you. We will have a recording of this webinar on the Learning with Leverage side. And also just keep in mind that the next Learning with Leverage webinar is going to be August 27th. That's with the Credit Union Vendor Management, CUVM, and Inspired Technologies. And they are simplifying cybersecurity. So they're giving some best practices and tips on how to secure your credit union. So keep an eye on your inbox because you will be receiving an invitation for that as well. And I know, right, Eric, we don't want to keep anyone from their lunch. So thank you all so much for coming today. It was great having you, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.